Okay. Let's see if I still remember how to do this whole streaming thing. Let's see if I still remember how to do. That's gonna be a big thing though. I gotta mute the stream that I have open so that I don't have to listen to myself echo back and forth all day long. How's it going, guys? It's been a little while, and by a little while I mean probably about a year. Um, uh, Life has just been absolutely insane. For those of you who have been following along a little bit, it's just a great series of unfortunate events. Just write my own book series. But we're back now, getting things off to a good start. In my absence from streaming and from making content and generally engaging with people, I actually have still been working a lot on the project, so that's super cool. Um, so we've got a lot to take a look at. We might hop into Minecraft at least a little bit today, but primarily I think that during this stream we're going to do Worldpainter. Actually, speaking of which, I should probably switch over to, yes, my lovely Worldpainter screen. Okay. So, this is kind of where we are with things right now. Let me go ahead and turn off the annotations, because they're annoying. Ignore all the random colored lines and whatnot. Hey, how's it going, Carl's Games? What's up? Welcome to the stream. Hey! I was wondering if you were going to be able to make it. These are, this is a special stream just for you, right? Awesome, awesome. Let's see. How do I look at the... Hold on, I have to remember how all of this works. Let me see if I can remember how it is that I look at the Twitch chat. That's a good question. How do I see that? I guess it just has to be big. I thought there was a way that I could look at the Twitch chat on my computer. No, maybe not. Okay, in that case, we'll put the Twitch chat up here so I can see it, just in case people join on Twitch, so we can interact with them as well. But yeah, so this is kind of where we're at currently with the project. It's coming along pretty good. Can't complain. We've got a pretty big world here, so let's zoom in a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about where we were before. As you can see, things are a little bit laggy because it is quite large. This total map is about 50,000 by 50,000, give or take. Also, let me know if the music is too quiet or too loud. I have no idea. I can't tell. Never been able to. Never quite figured out how that worked, and then I stopped streaming. So you know. But this is kind of where we're working currently. So this is our main valley. This is kind of where everything started, and you can see that it's got this ugly square, and this square is actually not really there. You can see that it's actually just an overlay that I was using just to get a picture of what the city is going to look like once it's in. Yeah, it has been a while since my last stream. I think my last stream was in June, I think. Could have been in February or March. So it's been a little while. I just, things have been a little bit insane. My personal life and all that. But we're back now, so that's good. Anyway, this is sort of a rough approximation of what the valley we're currently working in looks like. Got some lakes and some rivers and stuff, as you can see. And then we're currently filling this all in. So this looks very different on the actual server. Wonder if I can actually show you guys. Let me see if I can find the Dyn map. Let's see if I can share this one instead, because that would be cool. The last one could have been April Fool's. That's entirely possible. Let's see if I can window capture and change this to... Not that one. Is it this one? Nope, it is not that one. Okay. No idea. But anyway. Oh, actually, this is a window capture. I wonder if I can just do a screen capture. See if we can pull this onto here, make it big. And then maybe screen capture this. Gotta remember how all this works. Display capture. And we want this one. Oh, and then I have to unhide this one and then rehide this one, maybe? Okay, there we go. I don't know why it's so small. That's weird. I have no idea. That is very small. Can I make it bigger? Oh, there we go. I just gotta... Why is everything tiny? Okay. Sorry, guys. Figuring out the whole stream thing again. Hey, it's boyfriend. What's up? Okay. So, this is our Dyne map, our dynamic map. This has got all the towns and things that we've built in the last. Let's turn off these markers for a minute. So as you can see, the map is coming together quite well. We may, probably not today, but we may go and do some exploring. I'm currently putting together some videos that should show just kind of a world tour, because it's been a while. But yeah, we've got our. You can see this is Illias. You can see that we've started filling in this area down here is called Stone's Rest. I hope you guys can see my mouse. I have no idea. And that's been expanding dramatically. You can see we've still got a few outlines. But yeah, there's a lot of new stuff. Over here we have a whole series of new places that I don't think I've shown on stream yet. So it's we're really starting to grow. You can see we've got a whole town down here. This is the town of Muddlewump. It's a halfling community, so for people who aren't D&D nerds, essentially hobbits, right? Lord of the Rings hobbits. And then down through here we've got forest, we've got a swamp, we've got this big old city up here is called Manaroth. It's got a big old castle in the middle. We've got some stuff started over here with this lake. That's a houseboat. It's very small. And then up here we've got more swamp. Kind of, this is an area called Saravine. Kind of illicit stuff happens here. There's a casino and whatnot. So we've got a lot going on there. And then as we move down this direction, if it'll load, we've got some plains, so some grasslands that have been, as you can see, they've been painted with some savanna biome to get that nice kind of green yellow grass. And then down here we have a new city of Gothel, which is kind of a pirate community. And we've been slowly, you can see the crazy docks and everything. And yeah, one of the builders, Richard, Brainpox MC, for those of you who have seen his work previously, I strongly encourage you to go check him out. I think he's on Instagram and all that. But he's been working a lot in this area, so we've got kind of a pirate haven. Very excited to see how that turns out. It's getting close to being done, but I don't think it's quite there yet. What else, though? That's pretty much it, I think, in terms of like the city stuff. As you can see, we've started expanding quite a bit up through the valley and everything. Although there's still plenty left to be done, you know. Plenty more towns. You can see. Let me turn on the markers again. You can see we've got quite a few towns to build still. Areas to develop, and then from there it's kind of moving outside of the valley, right? And that's kind of the subject of today's stream, and what we're going to be doing is working on what happens outside the valley, because you've got the valley. This is pretty big. It's about 3,000 by 3,000 blocks, give or take. But as you can see, there is a whole lot. There is a whole lot left to do. The link to the Dyne map. So the Dine map is not, I don't think it should be, I don't think it's accessible without being whitelisted on the server and everything. I do have a not to pat myself too hard on the back, but I do have a Patreon going on, and part of the Patreon is going to be access, 24/7 to the Dine map and all that. So it gets you whitelisted on there, so you can check in and see how things are going, see who's online. I think that's kind of fun. Yeah. Anyway, let's hop back into Worldpainter, so we can look at the other stuff that's going on. Let's get rid of this on my screen. Put it up here, maybe with these. Okay. Then we'll go back to the Twitch so I can read the Twitch stuff. Hey, I just realized that it's that Shay's in the Twitch chat. How's it going? Sorry, I don't see, for some reason, I don't know exactly why, but I don't see all the chats on the same page because I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously because I'm awesome that way. But it also means that it's a bit more difficult for me to figure out what's going on. But yeah, let's see. Let's go into the Worldpainter. So, a lot of this stuff is new. What I've been doing in the past couple of months or so is working on adding some new terrain. Because before, this was really literally just flat. Everything looked like this right here, right? Just flat grass. And I've been slowly filling it in and adding some new things. So I thought we'd take a look at some of the new stuff. Just kind of talk about what it means in the context of the whole project and kind of where I hope we end up going. So yeah, let's see. So first of all, coming out of the valley, we've got this really awkward looking paths carved through the mountains. That's not a mistake. It's intended to be that way. It's a magical mountain pass, right? Basically, this whole valley was sort of cut off from the rest of the world. It was very difficult to get there, and so there was a large effort, I would assume, on a country national level, to basically blast a way through the mountains, which I thought was kind of a neat thing. It was something that was brought up during an old D&D session way years back. And it's something that I like so much that I ended up keeping it in the lore, and now we've finally kind of done it. There's also, on the opposite side of this lake, you can see there's a little flat spot. And through here into this valley, there's going to be a tunnel system with some cool, inside the mountain type terrain and whatnot. It's the Moses Mountain. I like it. Yeah, so coming out of there, though, we've got this big valley. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see kind of the scale of this whole valley, because it's really big. Here's our little valley, right? This is what we've been working on for 2.5 years now. And this is the big valley. So this one goes all the way up. You can see it just keeps going. Mountains are way back here. And I think that this is going to be just really cool. I'm very excited. You can see already there's some cool stuff. Let's see. Only cool to stream about two things at the same time. Exactly. See, yeah. I'm a cool person, fellow young people, right? It's not a dinosaur. It's a leviathan, a scary sea monster. But yeah, this project it continues to grow exponentially to the point where, I haven't even finished painting this whole thing, and I'm thinking seriously about adding more. So it's a problem. But yeah, we do have a big old skeleton, and so my thoughts here was that this is probably very, very old. In fact, I would wager to say that none of this is actually bone anymore. This is a big old sea monster that we'll probably write some sort of story that it crawled up out of the sea for some purpose, some cataclysmic event, It was slain, and then the body just, obviously it's too big, right? You can't move it. Um, and it just kind of sat there and rotted away into nothing, over thousands and thousands of years. Um, it's possible or probable, perhaps. I'm no biologist or anything like that, but I imagine that eventually this would kind of end up fossilized if they're, the bones just not being able to break down quickly enough, and if, over time being buried and then unburied, replaced with stone. I think it's kind of a cool idea. This thing is big. I mean, so each of these squares that we have here is, I believe, 1,000 blocks. So it's 1,000 by 1,000 square. So you can see that this skeleton takes up 1, 2, 3, 4. You can call it about 4,000 blocks, all scrunched up. How to someone slay anything that big? Magic. We're gonna chalk it up to magic. That's how I solve all my problems in life. But yeah, I don't know. It's enormous. Like the top of this guy's head. Down here. If you look down here in the bottom corner of my screen, down by the compass, it'll tell you what height level my cursor's at. So this is at height 64, right? That's about it's about ground level, sea level, and everything. The top of this dude's head is all the way up at 282. So even with the increase in build height, this thing is still almost touching the ceiling. So, but I think there's a lot of cool opportunities here, right? Because I think that this is, and that's what I'm trying to do with Worldpainter in general, is to create places for everyone else to be creative, right? Because, you guys have met some of the team, you've seen some of the things they build if you follow on any of the videos or see any of the Instagram posts or anything. The members of this project are insanely talented, and my goal is to give them a space to be insanely talented. And I think that sometimes it just takes some inspiration. You got to get the brain juices flowing, and I think that this does a great job of that, because I think that there's yeah, exactly. I think that this is a great place to put. We could dig tunnels through the skull or through the rib cage or the legs or really any part of it. We could put towns in. There could be entire towns or even small nations that are built on harvesting whatever is here. Maybe it's maybe it is fossilized and it's full of rare crystals that can only grow because of the presence of organic material. Alternatively, maybe this is still bone. Maybe this thing is just so big that it was never able to fully decay. Bones will last for a long time. Maybe they've got towns in here that farm the marrow. Also, this music is like super intense. Sorry, getting distracted. I'm gonna skip this one. It's like a little bit too much for me right now. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of cool ideas, a lot of opportunities, and I think that this is going to be something that you aren't even going to see it from ground level. Right? This thing is so big that, especially once we add forests and things like that, that you'll be walking around, you'll be like, oh, that's a funny white mountain, and as you explore the funny white mountain, you realize, hold on a second, this thing is like a really weirdly ordered shape, and I think that you could end up with just some really cool exploration. But yeah, do you use cubic chunks to exceed the vanilla build height? I don't. It turns out I learned this recently that vanilla for a post 1.17, I think, maybe 1.18, that you're actually able to increase build height using just a data pack. You don't even need a mod, which is super cool. What I have discovered is that increasing the build height with the data pack slows everything down a pretty significant amount. And I do have some concerns. I'd really like some more build height. I'd really like to move that level up to 600 or 1,000. I think that would just make everything just more interesting to do. But ultimately, if it slows things down too much, I don't I don't want to inhibit our ability to play in game, right? By just to have taller mountains. So it's something I'm gonna have to do some more research on. But it's a relatively easy thing to do. I can actually do it here inside Worldpainter. I can add. All I have to do is disable the height limit and then build things that are greater than the build height, and then it just automatically, when I export it, it exports it with a little data pack that gives you however much additional build height you need, which is super cool. So I've been playing around with that a little bit, but it does, by adding even 100 extra blocks of build height, it does significantly slow everything down because you're basically sticking, a chunk on top of the existing chunks. So Minecraft is already buggy and slow enough as it is. I don't know if the data packs are helping too much, but something we'll look into. But yeah, the intense music. Similar to whale carcasses in real life, they can sustain ecosystems. Yeah, that's what oh man, I can't remember the name of the channel, otherwise I would totally plug it. It's like I think it's called Natural World Facts. I'll look up the name and everything, but there's just a really awesome YouTube channel that does like little documentaries about primarily about the ocean, it seems, which is just like the coolest thing. And they've got one about whale falls, and that's exactly what you're talking about. Is that when a big animal like a whale dies, the body sinks down to the bottom of the ocean, and it can create an entire ecosystem. There's an entire new group of creatures that pop up around these whale carcasses, and they can last for years and years and years. And I just think that's such a cool concept, and that's really what inspired this. Was I wanted a whale fall, but classic me fashion. It's got to be big. Go big or go home, right? I think this is going to be awesome, though. I'm really excited. For anyone interested who hasn't already seen it, I can put a link maybe. But I have a Google Drive that has a number of world files in it for people to download for themselves, and they can explore around. One of those world files is this skeleton, but just the head, because I hadn't finished building the rest of it yet. Honestly, the whole skeleton would already be way too big, I think. The head is enough, honestly. The head is huge. But if you want to get an actual sense for how big this thing is, I'll put a link to the Google Drive, and you guys can download it and explore it for yourselves. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's one of those things where you walk around and you're like, holy cow. And it just, you immediately get that rush of new ideas and thoughts and stuff, and it's magical. But yeah, I'll drop a link maybe. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I have no idea if you can put a link in the chat that people can click on. Don't know if that's a thing, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Otherwise, join the Discord. we have a Discord. It's beautiful if you're not already in it. That's a good way of also getting access to some of this stuff. Yes, this is the one. Let's see if I can pull up a link. Okay, let me stick it in the Twitch chat. And then let's also stick it in the chat for... There it goes. Okay, I think that'll work. Let me know if if that link doesn't work for some reason, or if you need a password or something, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea how any of it works. No one can send links in the chat except the stream. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like it shouldn't block me from posting things in my own chat. Right? That would be silly. Anyway. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be awesome. Definitely I don't know. This thing is just, it's really cool. I'm really excited to build stuff there, and I know everyone else is too. Uh, Fun fact, that I posted a single picture of the head on Instagram, and it is the by a large margin is the most popular picture I've ever posted on the platform. It's insane. Um, I think it's up. It's still going, but I think it's up past 100,000 likes and stuff now. It's crazy. People really like it. I guess I have to build more big skeletons or something. Give the people what they want. Anyway, let's talk about some other cool features that we got on this map. So we got this. We zoom in a little bit. You can probably tell what this is by looking at it, but this is a volcano. A big old ancient volcano that is filled with water. It's got these little lakes down at the base that I think are really cute. And I think this is going to be the site of a major city. That's what I'm feeling. Just big city, maybe some either in the caldera or maybe just on the slopes. I'm not really sure. But I have this sense that needs to be a big city. Probably the capital of this this kind of province, if you want to call it that. Watercano, exactly. I forget. I had a name for it too. I remember. This is the Tolan Spire. That was the name for it. So that's gonna be cool. It's got this great terrain around it. I love how it's coming together. I'm trying to spend a lot more time just paying attention to how the terrain feels in game versus just how it looks here, because that was something that I ran into a lot of trouble with the other areas that I was working in. It's just that it looked really cool in Worldpainter, and then when I brought it into Minecraft and actually ran around in it, it ended up not being as cool as I thought it would be, just because it's hard to get a sense of scale for like how big things are. And the distances between stuff was just a lot bigger than I anticipated. So that was challenging. So I'm trying to pay more attention to that and to give more thought to, how big is this thing that I'm making? Is it a reasonable size where, we can see something from somewhere else, right? Because I think that's important. So in pursuit of that, you can see I've started adding some small details. This was something else that was a little bit difficult early on, was that I didn't take time to add the little streams and the little lakes and things like that. And it turns out that doing them here, or at least getting the basics set up here in Worldpainter, is so much easier than trying to do it in game. Carving things, these things out manually it's not that hard to do, but it just takes a long time. And especially given the scale of this project, I need to find ways to make these parts of it, to get the basics laid in before we take it into Minecraft, because I think that's going to make things simpler. Go figure. You know what? This is absolutely big, and I'm already home, so it's okay. But yeah, lots of stuff there. Working on these rivers. Having a little bit of trouble because I've been watching a lot of videos about how rivers do stuff and how terrain does stuff. And it turns out that typically the outside bank of a river bend is typically elevated above the water level, kind of cliff-like, and then all the sand and silt and stuff gets deposited on the inside, so that's relatively flat near the water level. And I've kind of done the opposite, because my thought process was that there would need to be some harder rock here on the inside of the curve so that the river would have to go around it. But apparently that's not really how it works, so I've gone and messed that up a little bit, and I don't know how much it matters. I'm still I'm having that debate with myself, trying to figure out if I should go and redo it or change it, or if it's okay how it is. Also, I just want to let you guys know that all this terrain is green right now. That's not gonna stay. It's just green right now because it was convenient just to paint everything all at once. But ultimately, this will be all rocky with some grass on the top. Probably volcanic, given this big volcano here. And I've come to the conclusion this volcano is probably one that forms in the middle of a continental plate. So the way that volcanoes typically form is that a lot of the time they form at the boundary of two different tectonic plates, and it's just volcanoes are just lava seeping up through, out of the mantle and everything. But sometimes you get places where the crust of the earth is very thin, and it's like I keep seeing people describe it as pimples, which is disgusting and also extremely funny. I love it. But basically, where it gets thin, the lava just kind of pops through, and you get a volcano. And then, as the plate shifts over, many hundreds of millions of years, you get chains of volcanoes that form. It's kind of like how the Hawaiian Islands were formed, I think. So I've decided that this is a pimple volcano. Probably gonna try to stick a few more in through this mountain range, or at least some areas where that could have been a volcano, stuff like that. Maybe just add some realism. I don't know. Is realism really important? Is anything really important? Who knows? Hey, it's Dr. Illias. What's up? I missed researching niche stuff from actual Minecrafter. Yeah, I missed it too. Or at least I missed telling you guys about it, because I have not stopped doing it. But I miss having people to talk to. But yeah, trying to make it as realistic and logical as possible. That's the name of the game for me. Overdoing it at every turn. Anyway, moving down the river, we've got this area. This is going to be cool. I need to work on this some more, because I get the feeling... so first of all, very obviously, this is a delta, right? Or it's supposed to be a delta. Deltas are kind of the output of big rivers into the ocean. It's typically how they form. And it's just all the little bits of sand and grit and stuff that gets washed down the river that gets, once the path widens, it just gets deposited, and you end up with all these little narrow channels in between the land. And it spreads out, usually bulges out into the ocean a little bit. It's really neat. So I wanted to make one of those. This is the biggest river on the entire continent. And it's looking okay. I need to do more research about what deltas look like, because this isn't quite right. But it's getting there. It's challenging to make this kind of stuff in Minecraft too. So, part of again, I'm dealing with issues of scale. These little gaps between the little tiny islands, they seem pretty small when we're looking at it like this, but like once we get down, I mean, if we zoom in far enough, you can see the individual blocks. Some of these gaps are, pretty big. And I don't want them to be too big. I want the branches of the delta to be like bridgeable. You could wade across, maybe, or something like that. I'm thinking maybe like just a big city here too, right? This is fertile land right here along the banks and everything. This one's a little rocky, but over here definitely you could grow all sorts of crops. I think this would be a pretty popular sort of coastal destination. So I think it could be kind of fun. We've got some islands and stuff too to work with. But I need to... I've never seen a real delta. I probably have, but not that I can remember. So maybe I need to take a trip, go find one. It's a magic D&D world. Logic is out of the question. I don't know. I feel like it feels like such a cop-out, for it to be like, well, I don't know how this works, so magic, I don't know. It's this whole project and world building in general has been such a rabbit hole. I've learned so much. I'm actually currently taking a class online in geomorphology, which is the generation of geography and the land and stuff. Just because it's interesting to me, because I want to learn more and I want to figure out how all this stuff works. But there definitely is a point where You know, I don't want to get too technical with it. I don't want to be too like, oh, I can't do that because that's not the way the real world works. You know, I want to keep some of the whimsy because I think that's what makes this fun. So it's just finding the balance, I guess. Funny how you talk about the logic behind the terrain and everyone else mentioning pimples. I don't know. Pimple volcano is just it's a funny phrase, right? How often do you hear someone talk about that? How big is the map? Map is 50,000 by 50,000. It is so large that if we zoom all the way out, I don't even think you can see all of it on the same. Yeah, it's real big. Yeah, you can't even see the top because there's a whole bunch more up here. So it's real big. What else we got? Right now would be a good time to research for your volcano because Hawaii's volcano is erupting. Is it really? I mean, I guess the Hawaiian chain is active, so it's kind of always erupting. Last time I visited Hawaii, there was we got to watch the new lava being formed and drop it into the ocean. It was very interesting. Also, we discovered that we bought some of those little candies that are like the little wax. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. They're like little wax soda bottles full of sugary juice that's been dyed colors. And we bought some of those, and my dad and I thought it would be fun. They had these cracks in the ground by the volcanoes where you could look down through the crack and see lava. My dad and I thought it would be a good idea to drop one of the wax bottles down the crack to see what would happen. Big jet of flame is what happens, and I lost my eyebrows. So, fun Astro story of the night. But we got some new people. Feroza TQ and Ballroom Dancer. What's up, guys? Welcome. Let's see. Right now would be a good time to research. Oh, we already read that one. I think learning geology is fun when you're doing it for Worldpainter maps. I definitely learned a lot when I applied it to my maps. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think that I would... I don't know. That's actually not true. I absolutely would take a geology class just for fun. But, like, if I were trying to get a degree in geology, I feel like it would be... You know, when you do something for a living, it's somewhat less fun than just doing it for fun as a hobby, I guess. So, I don't know. It's been quite a rabbit hole. Both my parents are geologists by trade, and education and all that. So, they have been a great resource, and they're thrilled, right, that their child is taking an interest in the thing that they studied. So, I think it's been fun for everyone involved. The wax cap thing is not the eyebrows. Yeah, they grew back. I have eyebrows. Don't worry. Yeah, don't drop wax in lava, guys. Don't do it. It's probably a whole YouTube channel devoted to people dropping things in volcanoes that they shouldn't and regretting the consequences. That absolutely sounds like something. All right, let's take a look at some other stuff. At some point, I would like to actually do some map work, but it's too much fun exploring. You guys know me. I spend the first 30 minutes to an hour of every stream that I do just looking at stuff and talking at people and generally getting very little done the way I am. Yeah, so we also have this area kind of in between the mountain ranges that I thought would make a really nice little valley. I think that there's, you know, kind of I think we could have some sort of river come down through here. As you can see, you can kind of see if we zoom in a little bit. We've got some cliffs. You can see some darker areas along here, and I think that'll be nice. We can have a waterway just flow all the way down through here. I managed to keep it pretty flat all the way through, have it weave through the mountains a little bit. You know, maybe it's carved its way all the way to the sea. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Give me your thoughts. Are rivers cool? Is that a cool thing that cool kids look at? Probably. I don't know. Real world rivers are crazy, man. I've been staring at a lot of Google Earth pictures of rivers, and they're pretty intense. When we get the face of an astro, have eyebrows. Yeah, maybe I'll shave them off just for the face reveal. I'll shave them off and then just, like, put on a ton of just really awkward makeup so I just look horrifying and be like, yeah, this is me, guys. I'm a real human person and I look funny. Could be fun. Got another little pass here. Connects these little areas. This is interesting here by the water. I don't know. It's terribly realistic, but it's kind of neat. I think that you could have some sort of city kind of maybe here in the valley, if you want to call it that. But it's relatively kind of barred off from the rest of the world. You can see big mountain ranges that kind of protect it. The only way in or out is either by ocean or through this little tiny valley over here. So that can be kind of neat. It's already been 45 minutes. Don't come at me like that. All right. You guys know me. I never do anything in a timely manner. Well, it's part of my charm. It's why you guys love me. Probably. Maybe. Don't answer. Let's see what else. What other cool stuff do we have going on? So I've raised this area. The area where the big skeleton is. I've lifted it up. So this is all, instead of being down at sea level, this is up at like 90, I think. Yeah, it's up at 90. So that's kind of neat. I wanted to experiment with some raised terrain that we could then carve down into maybe some, I think gulches are a thing. I think that's a word. I don't know. It could be kind of interesting, especially here with these beaches and stuff. We end up with some rocky cliffs that I think are nice, and then some nicer beaches. We'll expand these a little bit. I love this little peninsula. I don't know what to do with it, but it's quite nice. This could be a nice area, maybe up here, little city, the nice big old port and everything. I am a creature of routine. I absolutely love planning and organization, and yeah, no, it's bad. Probably gonna be horrified if you're gonna start your face. I'm doing it. When the face reveal eventually comes, and I have no idea when that's gonna be. Eyebrows off. Save my eyebrows for you guys. Yeah, so this kind of, I don't know if it's a plateau because it's too big. I think maybe just highlands. Would be really nice. Obviously, it's not gonna be this flat. I learned my lesson the hard way. Don't ever make things just perfectly flat. It's no good. No one likes it. Still waiting for the hot tub stream. I can't do that anymore. Oh yeah, that's the other big news. I've definitely told some people at some point. I don't know. I don't remember if I said it officially on the Discord or anything. I moved. I no longer live at the house that had the hot tub, so I can't do a hot tub stream unless I get one of the inflatable ones like everyone else on Twitch has. But I don't have the. Those are expensive, so probably no hot tubs. But yeah, I've got an apartment, and I'm living in a different area about 6 hours north of where I was before. I'm actually in the capital city of California, so that's kind of cool. Big city vibes. I could see the capital if I drive to it and stuff. It's a nice spot. House tour stream. I should do that at some point, actually. That would be kind of fun. I did say that I would try and do that. You know what the issue was with that is that I if I did a house tour, I would have to do it through with my phone, and I couldn't figure out how to stream from my phone. I couldn't quite figure it out. So, all right. So some other related stuff to Minecraft, related to Minecraft. We've got this area down here, this is all the way down. This is actually below the water level. It's kind of a flat, dry lake bed that I think might end up being kind of salt flats or something like that. Don't make everything flat over. Listen. Yeah, no Flatinoria, right? But yeah, I think dry lake bed. I think maybe it's, actually this would be a great place to put the new mud blocks and all that. But I think it'd be cool to have a town out on this flat area, kind of raised up on stilts. And then when the river floods every year or every couple of years or whatever, it overflows its banks into this and fills it at least partially with water. Maybe there's some sort of crustaceans or something, shrimp maybe, or mud skippers or something, some sort of animal that lives in the mud and kind of, during the dry air time when the river's not overflowing, when it's not flooding, and there isn't any water, they hibernate underground. There are fish that do that in the real world, and I really like them. And then, when the river overflows and the lake bed fills up, they come out and they swim around. They do whatever it is fish do, lay eggs and stuff, I guess. And there's probably a community that's built around. Maybe they're really delicious or something. I don't know. But I think dry lake bed, that could be a really neat feature. Also, probably an area where you could grow a lot of cool stuff. Who knows? Just my random thoughts as we go. Let's see, what else do we got? Over here, I'm really proud of these mountains. I really like how they came out. The coloring is a little bit off right now. You can see some little bits of gray. That won't be there. Eventually, this will all be, nice rock and whatnot. But these mountains are kind of interesting. You can see there's a lot of texture here, and I wanted to make sure that we didn't, like I talked about earlier, that we didn't end up with the weird flat spots too much anyway. We got this cute little bay with a little bit of flat land here up on the shore. I think that could be a great place to put a little city. Very well protected. These mountains are tall. These are like 200 blocks-ish all the way around. So pretty well protected. The only way in or out is through this little inlet to the bay. So it could be pretty defensible, I think. This mountain range is just enormous, though. I really like it. Over here, we've got some more. You can see here's the kind of the coastline and everything. If you trek inland, I've intentionally made this area sort of smooth and flat. And if you follow this all the way up through here, it's a little pass, and you can end up in this hidden valley with a nice big lake in the center. And I think, oh man, I'm really looking forward to building here. I think this is going to be cool. And yes, I have already made all of the Hidden Valley Ranch jokes that people will allow me to make in their presence. So we can make some more, but I think I've pretty much made all the Hidden Valley Ranch jokes. But Hidden Valley, it's gonna be great. They're gonna have a signature sauce of some sort, I'm sure. Because it's too much of a meme. It's a good meme. But yeah, cool valley. I'm very looking forward a lot to filling this in with trees and stuff, and then putting big old castles somewhere. Let's see. There used to be a massive river running through my province that almost completely dried up at this point, but there's still massive lakes left. Yeah, that's interesting. My province carved a fake river through the valley to prevent these lakes from overflowing and destroying farmland. Huh. So they dug out like a canal to catch the water runoff from the lakes, I guess. Huh. That's interesting. I haven't thought a lot about kind of man-made canals and stuff. Definitely something to visit, though. I think that I don't know. We've got so much space left. Honestly, we're gonna have no trouble finding space to put things like that. But I really like that. That's kind of interesting. Just the whole nature plus humans is always interesting. It doesn't always end well for nature and stuff, but it is at least entertaining to read about how it all works, how it all fits together. I like that stuff. But yeah, big mountains, still big mountains. These mountains are really big. I don't know if we mentioned that yet, but they're large. Right here on the edge where the big skeleton is too. And then coming up here, zoom out a little bit. We've got these two great big lakes. And this one's obviously a lot larger, but I think that this is going to be the location of kind of a ruined kingdom. We came up with a name. We're gonna build a big castle here on this little strip of cliff, I guess, that sticks up over the top of the lake, and big old castle, and it's gonna be the Lost Water Palace of Rahim. I like it. It's gonna be awesome. Just I think water theme for some dilapidated buildings, crumbling towers. It's gonna be awesome. I'm really excited about that. This lake has been here for quite a while, but I haven't really. It's taken me a while to figure out what to do with it. Signature sauce. We're still making Hidden Valley Ranch jokes. I like it. And you can also see I had to do it somewhere along this big river. I had to have a little island in the middle, so it looks pretty small, but honestly, this is a pretty good sized island. It's big enough for a town. I absolutely anticipate bridges here, maybe a bridge here. And that being like a fairy town kind of thing. Like, it'll be fun. Let's see. I've also started carving out. So we've got these big lakes, and then at the edge of the big lakes, you can see we've got this kind of band of gray, and this is actually like a big cliff, like very, very big. Like the height down here is 64. It's about water level, give or take. Up here, this is all the way up at 140. So this hops up by 70 blocks. So this is a good sized cliff. It doesn't look like it here, but it is big. And this whole area up at the top of the cliff, kind of a big plateau that goes all the way back into the mountains. And I think that's going to be cool. It's going to be sort of a wintry area, because you're already at such a high elevation that, kind of you're high enough elevation, snow can stay snow all year round, something like that. Very cold. And I think that'll be kind of interesting, because I think that the bottom of this, where the lake is and everything, it's going to end up being, at least in some part, kind of rainforest and jungle. Because I think that that was, especially with this volcano and everything, right? We want big jungle trees and crazy flowers and big mushrooms and stuff. But then up here at the top, I think we're gonna fade it into kind of pine forest with snow. That's kind of my plan. We've also got these two little turn on the. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It just does it randomly. We've got these kind of scraggly looking canyons where water flows from this upper lake through the canyons down into the lower lake. I think that's going to be cool. I might expand the canyons a little bit. They're kind of skinny right now. And you could technically fit some waterways, but I think the waterways are going to be too skinny to explain how this lake stays so full and big. So, I don't know. It's going to be something we have to figure out. They are a little bit thin. Although, granted, this whole thing is just really big. It's hard to get a sense of scale again. So if we zoom in, these are pretty big canyons. Like, my cursor right now is about 80 blocks across. So, some parts of this are, 20, 30, 40 blocks, from one edge of the canyon to the other. So, it could be okay, but I think that just the size of this lake demands bigger rivers, right? Go in full drag. I could. I think I have some friends who could help me put together a great drag costume, but it's difficult to imagine how this project's so good while one kid on the road in a dirt house. But you know what? The kids, we were all kids who made dirt houses at one point, right? That's kind of that's how you get to doing stuff like this, is by starting out with the dirt houses. I am very interested. I had this conversation with a friend just the other day, but I'm really interested to see what the effect Minecraft ends up having on society, on like the next generation of architects and geologists and things like that. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of cool, to be a part of this community and to be a part of all the cool stuff that inevitably is going to be happening. This island is awkwardly. I guess it's not an island, but this stretch of land is awkwardly shaped, and I don't like it. This is going to be something we fix one of these days. It's also very flat, but that's something I already had plans to fix. But yeah, this shape is weird and pointy. This one's a little bit better. I like this one better. So, spend some time with it. I love building mushrooms. Yeah, well, if you like building mushrooms, then we're going to be doing a lot of that. You're welcome to help us. Also, for anyone who hasn't realized, because I haven't really made a big deal out of it, because again, I haven't really been doing a whole lot recently, but Faded Rose here is actually one of our new build team members. She's been doing some really, really wonderful stuff on the server. Very happy to have her. I hope you don't mind me shouting you out, but it's something that I forgot to mention. Alright, so up here we have these little, I like these a lot. So these are like little canyons, and you can see that they step up gradually. And I've planned them out in such a way that we can get water flowing down through these, and it's going to look really cool. It's going to be, kind of all these little tendrils of water that grow and grow and grow into big rivers. You can see some of these formations go back all the way into the heart of the mountain ranges. And I'm so excited to get the water in these and see how they come out. If you look at them on a large scale, you zoom out a little bit, you can see the tendrils spreading out, and I think that's just such a cool thing to see. We're gonna have to work on that. You can see, this is a great example right here. You can see that it branches and branches from the branches, and it just keeps going. And I think having little streams of water running down through the center of all these, culminating and coming into this big lake, I think it's gonna be awesome. Again, frosty vibes, right? Winter trees and snow. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Let's see what else we got. Imagine now going through a mountain. That's kind of interesting. I saw a picture that I really liked a while back that was it's like fantasy art on Pinterest or whatever, but it was literally just a mountain with a big circular hole in it. That was it. That was the whole thing. I was like, that is really cool. I don't know. It was just I want my own holy mountain, I want a mountain with a hole in it. Just seems kind of cool. Minecraft's the first ever video game I've ever played on the PC, and I'm thankful that I did. Yeah, I agree. There's a reason that Minecraft has been so successful. It's a fantastic game. I really do hope that it continues they continue to keep it updated, and that Microsoft and stuff doesn't do too many weird things with it. Hey, maybe one day we'll even get a Java and Bedrock parody, right? That would be cool. So, let's talk some more about this. This is our big lake. I've been calling it Star Lake, even though that's not going to be the eventual name, just because it looks vaguely like a star. You can kind of see it's got little pointy bits. And it's another pretty huge lake. It's got this little thing that sticks out into it in the center, and here is where we're going to build big city. This is actually going to be the home of the original Soul Tree. So we talked to you've probably, if you've seen any content, you've seen pictures of the big orange tree in Illias. This is where the mother tree lives, on this little island here. So it's going to be an entire city built into an enormous tree that goes all the way up to build height. Maybe, if we end up expanding build height, it's going to be like that, I think. It'll be even bigger. And this is going to be visible from space sized tree. I'm so excited to build it. You know, you guys know me. I love trees. But I think it's going to be a big tree, city built into the branches and everything, and then a path, and then like tunnels that lead deep into the mountain. Kind of Mines of Moria style. I think that would be really, really cool. And then, you know, of course, stuff scattered around through here. I'm sure that with all these waterways running through here that there's going to be some spots where we can put towns and villages and whatnot. I'm very excited about this, though. This is... I spent so much time pulling this idea together to getting everything set up. And I think it's going to be really, really cool. Early Merry Xmas to everyone. Yeah, I can't believe it's December. We've got... Oh, man. We've got less than, what, like 23 days? Depending on where you live. It's not a lot. Yeah, this year has just kind of flown by. I can't believe it's already December. And it feels like March, maybe? February or March, something like that. Yeah. The Hole in the Mountain, that's in Norway, I believe. Oh, okay, yeah. You told me about it in the Google image breaks. That checks out. That sounds exactly like me. Yeah, that someone would tell me about something, I'd be like, oh, I don't remember where I found it, but it's my idea now. I discovered it. No, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's been very inspirational. Norway. Crystal Lake. That could be a good name. I don't know. It's very... Both these lakes are quite large. If we zoom out, if we're comparing things, this lake is probably bigger than the valley that we've been working in. Just to give some context, this island is larger than the city of Illias. So it's, oh man. All this stuff is going to take so much time. But I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Okay. A few more other little things. Oh, hey, what's up? It's Zero. Is it Zero? Kind of like, what's the word? Nope, can't remember what I was going to say. Sorry. But, welcome. I don't know if you've had a comment in here before that I just missed, but if not, welcome to the stream. It's going to be really cool when it's done. I'm very excited. Over here, we also have this crazy terrain. I built this a while ago. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. It's complicated. It's got a lot of these kind of plateaus, and then with plateaus with like little mountains on them, and then in between is just like lowland, and then like these little tiny spotty lakes, and it's very different. It's not something that I've done a lot with before, and it's based vaguely off of... I can't remember the name of the mountains anymore, but we did this on a stream once, and there's some mountains in China that have these very steep cliffs with trees and stuff growing on them, and that's what this is. That's what this is based on. Oh, you changed usernames. Okay, that is always confusing to me. But yeah, we built this stuff a while ago. I'm still trying to decide how I feel about it, and if there's things I want to change, or if I'm okay with it the way it is. It's honestly hard to say. I do think that this is going to be something that I need to go in and just do a lot of editing, up close, and then probably a lot in game as well. I had a cool idea that maybe this should be an area that has like big crystal shards, big pointy spires of crystal, just kind of poke out of the sides of the mountains and stuff. That would be kind of magical and fun. Maybe they glow. I don't know. But I had that thought. I don't know how I'd implement that in Worldpainter. And the thought of trying to do all this by hand with World Edit is terrifying. But if need be, I'm down to do it. I think it'd be really cool. I think this will also be an area big mushrooms, things like that, big flowers, just unusually sized plants, things like that. I don't know. It's interesting. We'll have to take a look. And then up here, this is kind of where I thought we'd do some work today. Now that we're over an hour into the stream. But this is a big, so this is kind of a convergence of the mountains. And I don't like the triangle shape. That's what we're going to fix today, is we're going to make a more of a circle. And the idea here being that this is, I think, like an impact crater from some sort of meteorite or something. And it's going to be a big kind of circular ring of mountains with the lake in the middle. Deep water. We're going to take it down, to the bottom of the world, maybe. Close to, anyway. And then, I think in the middle, floating islands. And I can't do floating islands in Worldpainter. Not easily, anyway. So I think the floating islands will have to be something that we work on in-game, which is going to take a long time. But I think big floating islands in the middle of this kind of more circular impact crater, big jagged mountains around it. My idea here is that these mountains are so tall. These are going to go all the way up to build height. And these mountains are just so tall and so impassable that you can't climb over them to get in, right? Where they're so tall that if you tried to climb the mountains, go over the mountains, you'd end up in a space where they're so tall that you run out of oxygen. You can't breathe. And so the only way in or out of this impact crater valley is going to be, I think, tunnels and stuff. Probably, in particular, one really significant tunnel that heads down through here, maybe towards this big city here. But I'm really liking that. I've for the entirety of this project, I've wanted to build floating islands, and I haven't found a good spot for them yet until now. And I think this is going to be cool. Just a whole bunch of floating islands, connect them up with bridges, connect them up with rope ladders, waterfalls and stuff that fall off the edges into the big lake below. It's going to be awesome. And then probably some regular islands floating around in there. Not floating, but, that's kind of the plan. I think that's going to be really cool. Just one other thing I want to mention before we actually do some building and stuff. So, a lot of what I've been thinking about recently is what to do with the top half of this map. As you can see, I've got some lines drawn where I wanted to put mountain ranges and things like that. I'm not feeling these particular mountain ranges. I think it's too cluttered. I think there needs to be more open space, and the mountain ranges don't make as much sense as I thought they did. Just the shapes are a little bit erratic. So at some point we'll come through and we'll erase all the mountain lines that I have here and replace them with something a little bit simpler. I think maybe because we have one big mountain range that runs all the way across here, kind of diagonally, top right to bottom left, and that's right along a plate boundary. So that's why those are too tall. It's two plates that are smooshed up against each other, and they're pushing the mountains up. But I think that having something running perpendicular to that feels weird. So I'm open to putting mountains. I think maybe having a mountain range that kind of comes along here, maybe up here. I don't know if it should connect up. I think probably not. But then we have just a big flat area up here that we can raise up into some highlands and stuff. We still have some little mountain ranges, but I think that moving this central range off to the edge so that we can have a more uninterrupted space, I think is going to be better overall. But doing that means that I need to rearrange the provinces and everything that I've established and possibly rename them and move them around. So Luckily, we haven't done a whole lot with it yet, so there's wiggle room, you know? There's wiggle room. But, it's... Yeah, thoughts. Lots of thoughts. Okay. Anyway, let's actually do some building. Everything is really laggy. And I've got the same problem as before, where I don't have autosave turned on, because if I have autosave turned on, saving this map takes like 10 minutes. So we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. You can see I've drawn a circle, so I can get an idea of where I need to put mountains and where I don't want mountains. Oh, hey! It's Tarek. I didn't even see you in the Twitch chat. I'm sorry. How's it going, man? Okay, let's see here. So, first thing I want to do is, I started dropping the level of this to you know, put the water in there. And we're going to have to retcon that for the moment. I'm actually going to turn these limitations back off so that we can raise this up. Okay. I don't know why the annotations always do that. Now we're just going to take... I've learned the hard way that we do not use the flat-sided brushes. Instead, I'm going to grab this one. This has become one of my favorite brushes. And we're going to say razor lower. See me. I've been meaning to bug you, but this week got away from me, and I've been really sick for 3 days. That's not good. Sickness is bad. Don't get sick. Don't get sick, kids. That's my PSA. Just don't do it. Just, if you feel like you're getting sick, just be like, nah, don't feel like it. Easy peasy. Alright, so we're going to affect everything that is at or below 64. We're going to raise this up. Oh, I don't want to apply the theme. That was weird. That's okay. We don't have to worry too much about that. Let's go ahead and zoom all the way in, though, so we can do this more quickly. Turn the intensity is already up. Just raise all this stuff. Let's see, did you tell your internet fans to celebrate your birthday? That's true. Yeah, it was just my birthday on, I guess it was last Saturday. Doesn't feel like that. It feels like a lot longer than that, but, yeah. Less than a week ago by a day. It was my birthday. Guys, I have a secret to tell you. I am 30 years old now. I'm an old person. I need to start going to bed unreasonably early and ordering the early bird special at restaurants. Oh, man. Everyone worship your god Astro, for he hath aged. He hath indeed. Yea, verily. Okay. So, let's think about... So what I've been doing to kind of establish mountain ranges is to raise everything up to about 150. Just create kind of plateaus, and then I put mountains on top of the plateaus. It helps me keep track of just making sure that everything's a consistent height. So we'll raise things up to probably about 150 all around. Let me say at or below 150. Should we press enter? And then this will help us raise this up all the way, and then it flat lines up to 150. That's great. We're just going to raise all this land up. Maybe make the brush a little bit smaller so it doesn't freak out so much. Hey, what's up? Triaxial fleas. I am... Okay, this is really random, but I am still actively in love with your redwood trees. And I have been working really hard. Part of the reason that I'm doing so much with Worldpainter these past couple months is because I want to end up with an area where I could take those schematics and put them in the world. I want redwoods. But yeah, how's it going? Great to see you. I'm sorry that the redwood trees is like the thing that's on my mind right now, but they're really good trees. Paxil Fleas made some beautiful, beautiful redwood tree schematics. They graciously shared with us. So we are looking actively for a place to put said redwood trees because I think they're gonna be awesome. All right. Well, this part's kind of boring because we're just filling things in, but you know, we'll get to the interesting stuff as we go. I hope they got saved. I can show you how I made them sometime. Yeah, definitely. They absolutely got saved because that was the first schematic that I was like, oh, gotta make sure I grab that one. Okay, so we're starting to get to the edge of the pink, which means we have to be a little bit more selective with how we do this. And I like this brush because it makes it just makes kind of like terraced mountains, which I think are really neat. It puts these little, you can see there's like little flat areas, because this is technically a mesa brush, I guess, so made for making stuff like that. But it does a really good job of just adding a little bit of texture to things, without looking too weird. You know, we get some of these kind of dips into the cliffside, which I like. I'll continue filling this in little by little, and I'll mix up the brushes every now and then. We have a lot of brushes. This is another one that I like using. But the main thing here is we really just want to get things filled in enough that that we start to get the general shape that we're looking for. That's the plan. Without it being too same also. It's also challenging. You can see this is a beautiful brush though. You get the really nice mountains. That is looking really messy though. I don't know what, I hope that's gonna work. I guess we should also look at the 3D view in a minute here. See if things are as we expected. Can't talk. And the only thing I don't like about this brush is that if we look here, it's got this little bit at the end that's just flat. It's kind of annoying. Sometimes I have to raise it up a little bit or smooth it just to get that little flat part to go away. A little bit upsetting, but anyway. Let's see, let's pick one of these other brushes. Raising everything up. That's an interesting brush. Kind of a circular volcano-y kind of mountain. Oh, I like this music. Kind of fantasy-ish. Turn that one up a little bit, maybe. Oops. Where's the volume? There we go. Fun music. Alright. I kind of like having these little areas where, like, you know, because eventually, right, this part that's flat on the top is going to have mountains on it and whatnot. And I kind of like this because I think it's going to be cool having these deep valleys into the sides of the mountains and everything. Find a different brush. A little bit faster. That's an interesting one. That might be the one I used for the volcanoes. Gotta keep rotating and everything, because otherwise, that's another thing that I figured out, is that if you don't rotate your brushes effectively, then you end up with stuff that you didn't intend. I think this is kind of cool too, like a kind of a sea stack sort of thing almost, but with mountains, like a mountain stack. Is that a thing? It is now. Yeah, we can get that really steep playing with some of these different areas. And I guess it's probably good to spend some time thinking at least a little bit about the, what the bottom of the lake is going to look like. Because there's opportunities to build some stuff down there. I don't know if there's a lot, but definitely some cool stuff. It's a funny looking brush. This way. Kind of like that. That's fun. Yeah, I think just before I used to use the same 3 or 4 brushes for everything. And in Worldpainter it looks fine, but then when you get into game, you're like, oh, I can definitely tell that all these mountains were made with the exact same brush. You start to see the same little imperfections in the brushes that make them fun and unique. If you use the same one too many times, it stops being a fun, quirky imperfection. It starts being a telltale sign of copy-paste syndrome, so. But if you blend it up a little bit, it ends up being nice. And, you end up with some really nice-looking mountains. It's an interesting one. Try this one a little bit. I suppose it doesn't matter too much when we're doing, we're just trying to kind of fill things in like this. But definitely the edges of these cliffs, that that definitely matters. So, I suppose it's, I don't know. I mean, I think at this point, I'm kind of the opinion that you should always be trying to do your best work, even if it's something that you don't think is going to matter in the long run. It keeps things interesting. All right. Expand some of these areas a little bit. So I don't necessarily want this thing to be a perfect circle. It definitely has to be somewhat circular, if that makes sense. Because I definitely want it to be something that's identifiable from a distance. That like, oh, yeah, that's an impact crater, So I think that just dragging some of these out, just to get a very clear circular shape, it's probably good. Let's find some other mountain brushes. That's a nice one. Make it smaller and rotate it around a little bit. Oops. Here we go. Nice. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit and see how we're doing. Yeah, we're sticking with the roughly circular shape. Looks like these are some mountains that I actually need to squish down. And maybe we'll do that in a little bit. I want to fill in this corner though, so we try to fill in as much as we can before we have to switch brushes to do one that cuts away instead of builds up. I'm trying to remember if there's any reason why, why any of these mountain ranges would have deep valleys in them. I can't think of a particularly good reason. We have quite a number of mountain ranges at this point with, deep valleys and height change within the peaks and everything. And I don't want it to overuse that too much, So I think for this one, we just kind of stick with kind of mountains. I suppose we can always dig down into them if we need to later. So that's easy. Filling it all in. I have to say, moments like this that I'm very thankful for that Worldpainter exists. Because I I can't imagine trying to accomplish anything like this, you know, in the context of like you know, trying to do it by hand. That would just be awful. And I think just having lots of different textures just keeps it interesting, makes it fun to look at. It's inevitably sort of a problem with these large maps, that they are so large that it's hard to get enough detail in them for it to be interesting to look at, you know. But I think we're doing a good job. You know, I try to make sure that I zoom in on things and don't let things get too bland on a, you know, on a close level, I guess. I don't know. You guys know what I'm saying. It's just words. It's all just words. All right. Nice. It kind of fills in that. Then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take these, which are very smooth surfaces, and kind of fill them in like this. Then we get just the kind of the rough edges in there. Should do a little bit of this, and then we zoom in and rotate. Rotate again. Smaller. Look at that. That's going to be cool, right? We've got a little shelf on the bottom. Very exciting. We just can't let it get too boring. Let's find some other mountains. These ones are hills, but I think they will work similarly. Let's see here. Actually, I think these ones, we should probably push them backwards instead of pulling them forwards. Let's go here. At or above the bottom of this, 54. 64. And then we're going to go at or below 150. And this will let us kind of push this backwards without digging into the ground too far. Yeah. Using these mountain brushes in reverse is always a little bit confusing. The shapes get kind of funky sometimes. But I think we're doing okay. Just want to push this one back a little bit as well. These are just different shapes. Hey, what's up? It's Gabriel. How's it going, man? It's been a while. We're just doing some world painting. Nothing super exciting today, but as always with these kinds of streams, that's got to get done, so we might as well do it with friends, right? Good to see you though, man. Let's try this one a little bit. That's an interesting one. I don't know how I feel about that particular mountain brush. Oh, this is miscellaneous. It's not mountains. That's why. I was like, that's a weird mountain brush. It has. How's life? How's things? Last time we talked was a hot minute. It's been a bit of time. Ah, there we go. That's exactly what I was looking for. I like this. Smaller. Nice, nice. Okay. Getting this all filled in. This other side of the mountain we don't have to worry too much about because this is something that we'll fill that in later. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that whole side though. Oops. Keep pressing the wrong buttons. That's a weird mountain. I kinda like it though. Got some interesting terraced slopes, I guess you'd call them. A lot of really interesting mountain brushes. I'm glad that I have such a variety to work with. Usually been asleep when you stream, going, of course, in January. That's cool. It's exciting. Don't worry, you haven't missed much in terms of the streams and everything. This is the first stream that I've done since, like, April, I guess. So, you are not missing anything. But I'm trying to get back into it. I think it's as good a time as any to spend some time with it. And also, I missed you guys. Miss getting to hang out with people. I've been doing a lot of solo Minecraft lately. It's fun in its own way, but I definitely miss getting to interact with people. But Worldpainter is sort of Worldpainter in particular is sort of a solitary activity. You know, it's not really... Can't really do it with a group of friends. Doesn't quite work out. Let's go back to this. This is my favorite brush. And use this to add a little bit of texture underneath. And look at that. This is beautiful, right? I love the... Keep it in the Windows button on my computer. It's a little bit slow. Might miss 2 or 3. April was a busy month. April was a busy month for me as well. All the months have been busy months. It's been a hectic year. Okay. Let's see. What other mountains have we got? What is this? Ah, it's another pointy mountain. Oh, work a little bit. Oh, there's our mountains again. Oh, we're almost there. Fill it in. I do love when it makes these nice little... I don't know what you call them. It's like erosion marks, I guess. Ridges. Like ruffles. Like the chips. I don't know why. I don't know. Okay. I think that's pretty much it, except for the stuff that I have to push backwards. I'll do a little bit of that now. Oh. I have to be careful because this is actually... Otherwise I'm going to end up with weird vertical hills. I don't want that. Push this back. Hopefully this looks okay in game. It's hard to tell here in Worldpainter. We do have a 3D view, but I don't use it very often. Okay. Let's zoom out a little bit, see if this thing looks roughly circular. It does! That looks roughly circular. That is a good job. See if I think if I take away the annotation layer, look at that. That still looks sort of like a circle, kind of. I'll take it. Oh, I might need a few of these little pockets, though. Maybe I'll put one over here where I've got some space. And then maybe a little one up here. I don't know, just to spread it out, because it's a little bit too symmetrical otherwise, maybe. Okay. So let's zoom in. And kind of shove some of this backwards a little bit. There we go. Get rid of that. And then we'll go ahead and... I don't know why it keeps... The annotations, it does that all the time, and I don't quite understand precisely why. It has to do with, like, the last place that my mouse was, or the last thing I clicked on. I don't really understand, but... It's a little bit annoying. Not unworkable, though. We find ways around. Okay. Building this all up. Yeah, I guess for these streams I should start playing, like, Christmas music, huh? Getting to be that time of year. I play, what's the Mariah Carey song that plays in every store ever for the whole month of December? I can't remember. There's a few quote unquote Christmas classics though. I distinctly remember being a thing. This music is almost Christmas music. It's kind of got that sound to it. Okay, closing that off. All I Want for Christmas, that's the one. Mariah Carey. She's a good singer. I think it's mostly just that song. It's just kind of ruined her reputation. Oh my goodness. I bet she makes bank off of that though, you know? Like royalties right? She gets money every time they play it in, you know, in Ross or whatever, and I bet she makes, I mean, she obviously makes tons and tons of money because she's very famous, but I bet that song is probably like a pretty good money maker for her, if I had to guess. I had a music instructor in college who he wrote a Latin jazz album that they ended up using as like background music at SeaWorld, at like the jungle themed ride or something like that. And that's his income. That's where he makes almost all of his money. It's just that one Latin jazz album that he wrote 25 years ago. And because they play it, you know, the entire duration of the park being open every single day, he makes a lot of money. That's all he has to do. It's kind of the dream, I guess. I got a nice Japanese Christmas song, and if you go see the lyrics in English, it's really cute. I like it. We'll have to maybe put it in the Discord or something so people can check it out. I'm nervous about playing YouTube videos and stuff on stream because a couple of my videos have been, I don't know, YouTube has flagged a couple of my videos even when I have like little tiny snippets of songs in them. But $2.5 million a year. Woo! $2.5 million. Must be nice, right? Actually, I don't know. That seems kind of, honestly, to be completely honest with you guys, that's lower than I expected, but still a lot. Ah, yes. The very fun task of filling in all this empty space. Wow, yeah, all this music is kind of Christmassy. Maybe I should make a legitimate playlist of the music that I'm like, oh, yeah, this is Christmassy music. Then use that during the streams. I should also put maybe another little, I don't know what to call these, an incursion maybe? These little bits and bobs. Maybe like a really strong one there. Grab some other mountain brushes. That's noise. This one could be good. It's just very, very faint. I think it's from all the royalties from the rights to the music, lyrics, and the song stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. And that was the thing that surprised me when I was younger. Was just the fact that, like, most pop songs and stuff aren't written by the people who sing them. Which, as an adult, that absolutely makes sense. But as a kid, I always assumed that, if you're singing a song, then it's a song that you wrote. That always made sense to me. Turns out, I guess, in the real world, that the vast majority of pop songs are written by the same 5 or 10 pop song writer names. For those interested in viewing the song, it's White Wishes by 999. Let's look it up. What is this music? Oh man, this playlist is so weird. I don't like this song. Hold on. Let's fix it. Apparently this one's called... I don't know what it's called. That's a little better. Okay, slowly getting there. It's kind of a neat mountain. I need to remember this brush. Let's see, what is this one called? Mountain Brush 8. That's gonna be easy to remember. But actually not easy at all, because it's a very generic name. Okay, cool. And I think for the rest of this, right now, I can fill it in very easily if we just do flatten. Yeah, look at that. So fast. But not terribly accurate. You end up messing stuff up if you're not careful. Good for filling in large spaces quickly. I like this song. This is, I don't know, everything sounds Christmassy to me right now. I think it's just on my brain, but I do like these piano tracks though. Can't remember where I got them. It was some sort of music pack, royalty-free music pack that I bought at some point long ago. Let's do that. Yeah, that seems pretty good for right now. Oh, hey, it's Ruben. What's up? Been a while since I streamed. Okay, and then I want to mess with this corner over here a little bit. Kind of like that part. I don't want to mess with that too much. Maybe kind of up here we'll push everything back a little bit. Just to have a little something. The fire alarm went off. That's not good. Hopefully it was a false alarm. You paid for music, you go to the high seas and get it for free. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, so I bought a lot of music because way back in the day, I was making a video game. And that's what I bought it for originally, was to have music to play in the background of the video game. The video game didn't end up really working out. I didn't get very much finished with it. Kind of abandoned the project. But I've had it sitting around on my computer ever since, and streaming seemed like a good use of that. So, okay. Yeah, my stream was so good, it lit everything on fire. It was hecka lit, fam. That's how people say things, right? That's a thing. It's 5, 6, 7, and 800 subscribers. Am I up at 8? I thought I was only at like 750 last time I checked. That's awesome. If I am up at 800. Nothing bad happened, but it started raining really hard, so we went back inside the stairwell. I was like, the door is right there. Oh, nice. Rain. Is it hot where you are? That's weird. It's very cold here, but I mean, it's not very cold. You would consider it very cold, but that's because you live in a place where it is always very hot, so. Okay, let's drop this down. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to drop this down to about 40. We can start digging some trenches down. And then we need, I think we have brushes that might be good for this kind of thing. Maybe just hill brushes. Something simple. It's December, it's cool in the morning, 78 degrees in your freedom units. Yeah, it's humid. Yeah. Humidity gets me. I don't like the humid. I guess I don't mind it that much, but not my favorite. That was where it was very humid where I just was. I was took a family trip to Mexico. It was very fun. And it's quite humid there. On a scale of 1 to a lot, it is relatively close to a lot. What's going on? At midday, the sun comes into my room right onto my face. The firefighters told us to get back outside, and Vance goes, I pay rent. If I pay to be here, let it be my choice. 90 degrees? No, thank you, sir. I'm not a... Nope. Not a fan of 90 degrees. I am not. Alright, I wonder if we're going to be able to fill in this entire little crater area thing. I don't know. I suppose I should leave some land on the, on the sides, some flat areas where you can, I don't know, have some forests and things like that. Who knows? What's that in C? Warm, right? Probably like 25 or something like that. I'm slowly getting used to metric units. Being able to determine how much how much it is, but 32. Wow, that's hot. It should not be that hot in December. I'm just putting that out there. No reason, no good reason that it should be that hot in December. Yeah, see, I can leave some little spaces, sort of flat. Yeah, and a little bit there, and then that'll give us, I think, some cool things to work with when it comes to adding some little forests, maybe some towns. Honestly, I don't know though. Disgusting. You should come here. We've got heat, humidity, poverty, economic recession, and most importantly, corruption. Oh man. Fun, fun, fun. It is currently, I don't know what, let's see, what temperature is it currently? I don't know how to look at, oh, here it is. It is 40 degrees here, Fahrenheit, which I don't know what that is in your crazy units, but probably still relatively cool. Let's see, it's above 0, but Sunday is supposed to be a low of 21 degrees. No, no, no. That is too cold. You just call up the people who make the weather and let them know that it's too much. Too much. They gotta change it. Make it less cold. It's worth noting I live in Mumbai, a major city. It's way hotter here than in some other places in my state. 4 degrees. One of the cities near me broke the heat record of my country, 120 degrees. Woo! That's pretty warm. 120 degrees is, yep. Certifiably hot. Wait, did it recently break 120 degrees? Where in the world is it 120 degrees in December? Do you live in Australia? Oh, wow, that's crazy. Okay, I'm really liking these little bits of green, little grassy bits down at the base of these hills. Those are nice. Let's see. It's almost freezing. Some places get 18 degrees in the morning. Eesh. Also, I really like this music. It's a cool track. All this rain is gonna freeze tonight. Yay. Yeah, the snow is not a huge fan of snow. I've never really lived someplace where it gets very snowy. And it doesn't snow here, but there's a lot of places near where I live where it does snow, and that's something else. I'm not looking forward to having to try and drive anywhere in any sort of weather. I live in California. We don't have a lot of weather here. We shouldn't. I'm just, first world problems, am I right? It's not feeling hot, it feels cool. Yeah, the humidity changes things drastically, I feel like. Like, even when it's technically cool out, the humidity makes it definitely not feel like that. Okay, I think we don't go all the way back to the back part of this. Just bring it up here against the edge of this. Yeah. I think that was kind of cool. This could be something, I don't know what, but definitely room for something there. Yeah, that's going to be cool. I don't know what we're going to put there, but we're going to put something awesome. Let's push that back a little bit. Nice. Okay, let's do some other weird land, little bits of land. I think this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it like a strip of land that pokes out, kind of like that. That looks kind of cool, right? Bring up little bits of it here and there. Maybe do a little bit of smoothing. There we go. Nice. Let's see. We don't have fall or spring. Yeah, you have the monsoon season and everything. We used to have a milder, much milder than what you get, but a monsoon season when I lived in Arizona as a child. That was always interesting. Just having there be a dedicated rainy season. It's actually really windy right now. I hope the electric doesn't go out again. The whole dormitory had its electric knocked out Wednesday. That's not good. Due to wind? I guess just blowing over power lines and stuff. It's rough. That's mainly it. Summer and monsoon, just cooler in between. Indian summers are harsh. Australia has it worse. Yeah, when they're on the bottom of the world, so they do. They have all their seasons in reverse, you know. Oh, you can see this. See this black line here? That black line means that we've got some stuff where it's kind of straight up and down. Don't want that. So we gotta smooth it and then redraw it a little bit. Add some texture back in. That's gonna be a really steep cliff, but I actually kind of like that. Something different. It has a lot more facilities than India. You talking about Australia? Dormitory. Dormitory is like apartment style living for people who are going to university here in the States. That's what they call it, dorms. It's like the shorthand slang for it. Just looked it up. The same city that hit 100 degrees also hit negative 25 in January. Oh no, that's cold. That's like surface of the moon cold. That's really cold. I just turned 30. It's true. I'm not in a college dorm. I own my own place. I'm awesome. No, I live in a condominium, which kind of like a dorm, I guess. I don't know. It's got a similar vibe, but I own it, so it's my own place. I don't rent it or anything. It's fun. It also means if something goes wrong, then I'm responsible for it. So that's fun. Your school has it. Day boarding. Yeah, okay. Yeah, boarding style schools. That's what American universities are kind of like. Similar setup in terms of you live on campus some of the time. Depends on which school you're going to and everything, but a lot of students end up living on the actual campus and everything. Send me your address. I can't send you my address because then you'll send me all sorts of weird mail. I know you. You would absolutely send me weird mail. Don't deny it. I don't want any weird mail from you. No. Oh man. Actually, you know what? I am not the one who owns my place because, guys, this is a new thing that I guess I haven't told people since last time I streamed either. I own a cat now. That's right. I have a cat. She's adorable. Her name is Ursame, which is a strange name for a cat. I get that, but it's tied in with the lore. And if you guys know me, I love lore. Lore's the best. Yeah, she is a fantastic cat. She's adorable. I love her, and she's so soft. She's actually sitting in the room with me now, sleeping kind of behind me in her cute little cat bed. It's adorable. Cats are really cute. I never considered myself a cat person. I've always thought of myself as more of a dog person. We've had lots of dogs growing up. My dad's allergic to cats, so we never owned a cat. Honestly, she's changed my mind a little bit about cats. I love her a lot. Let's see. My cousin is living in a college dorm. I might come with a shotgun and a mask over my head, but don't be scared. Oh, to my house. I don't have the money to send me. You don't have the money to send me weird mail. I get the feeling that if you put your mind to it, you'd find a way to get some money just for the express purpose of sending me weird mail. She's doing good though. She's very cute. I was so sad because my fridge thawed and I go, oh, that sucks. That is the worst part about power outages. Legit. Is like when all the food that you just bought at the grocery store for the next week just rots and everything, and it's just that's very disappointing. I know that feel. I'm always paranoid that when I go out of town, I'm gonna come back and there's gonna be rotten food in my house. And it hasn't happened yet, but it's only a matter of time. When it knocked the electric out, settle the debate: cats or dogs? Or Stella, we might break Astro. Oh, don't make me choose. I love them both. Is both an answer? Not the answer you're looking for, but it's an answer. I'm sticking with it. I do love Stella. I got to see her briefly when I was at home after the Mexico trip and everything. And it was very good to see her. She's gotten a little round since the last time I saw her. She's a chunky dog now. But very cute, very opinionated as always. I took some pictures. I'll have to post them in the Discord. I keep digging into this heat record city. The day after it hit the heat record, it burnt down due to a nearby forest fire and 45-mile-an-hour winds. What? As the fire advanced, propane tanks exploded. Winds thwarted firefighting efforts by blowing hose water away from the fire. Holy cow. Is that city by any chance part of a Michael Bay movie? Because certainly kind of sounds like it. It's a lot of he spent the whole budget on the pyrotechnics. Oh, that's wild. Is this an American problem? We rarely have power outages. I wouldn't say it's like an American problem. It's definitely a problem in parts of America. Like kind of the rural parts of America, I guess, is where it probably hits the worst. I get power outages where I live too, but not too bad. They're not nowhere near as bad as what it sounds like is happening for Faded Rose. Let's see. Opinionated how? Propane, chemistry word, I'm scared. Propane is just natural gas, essentially. It's not quite, but it's close. I got 2 out of 20 on a test. Oh no. That's not good. You gotta study more, my friend. It's okay. I am also bad at things, so it's okay. A lot of dead trees called ash trees. because a boat carrying logs brought an invasive bug called the ash borer and it killed so many of our trees. Oh. That's interesting. That's kind of a hot take on like invasive species and stuff. Here in California, there's an invasive species of mussel. I think it's a lot of the U.S., but I know specifically in California there's a breed of mussel called the zebra mussel or the quagga mussel that it's a big problem. It gets into like filtration systems for like water and stuff and just clogs things up, and it doesn't have any natural predators, and it's a whole big thing. Oh, we all failed. It's all good. I did well in the main tests. My grade isn't gone. Stoichiometry, huh? Stoichiometry is... Yeah. I was never good at chemistry, but... You know, I mean, I was obviously I'm more of a math person, but... Yeah, you got full marks in math. Nice. I like it. My grandpa was so sad that a bunch of the ash trees he planted were killed. Yeah, that's honestly kind of tragic. Like, I don't know. Stuff like that is saddening. Okay, this is looking kind of nice. And a little bit of stuff there. Maybe a little bit. Maybe we have like a little bit of an island out here. Make that a little bit taller. And we just cut like a narrow little band of water right there. How's that? Oh yeah, I like that. That's kind of nice. Time to go. Midnight strike clock. Have a nice dream. Well, it's great seeing you. Have a great night. Hopefully, I'll see you again in not so long. Let me see. That's looking pretty cool. This definitely needs a little bit of texture. Oh. I think this is a good spot for some sort of like weird land formation kind of poking out like that. Oh, look at that. It's like an arm. Go through and kind of carve out around it. Yeah. Love it. Beautiful. 9:30 a.m., huh? That is almost opposite of where it is here. Does anyone have any tips to optimize Minecraft? Have you I don't remember, Ruben, have I, or has anyone mentioned iris and sodium to you? Because I know that that's something that we were doing that was really helping with performance issues. Iris does a great job of like optimizing the way that Minecraft does things, I guess. I'm not 100% sure how it works. I'm not a code person, but we found it very useful on the server and everything. A few people there. I have to ask. I think MCX, and he has a friend who is more knowledgeable about mods and stuff and how it works. He could probably talk you through it. But other than that, avoid glow ink on signs. Avoid armor stands and item frames and redstone whenever possible. All that's going to make things move around a little bit more quickly, because I found those are things that slow me down a lot when I'm building. Started a 19.2 world. Awesome. It's very laggy and eventually crashed. Sometimes when you start a new world, I've found that that there are sometimes issues related to that. Like sometimes if you just like make a new world and then just let it sit for a little while, that helps, because sometimes the new worlds, I think that that has to do some calculations to figure out where things are in the very beginning, and sometimes that'll slow things down. So you might consider that. I don't know especially if you're trying to keep it unmodded and everything. Just some thoughts. Sorry, I love talking about nature. The dead ash trees pose a threat because of how many there are. I almost got hit by a falling branch when I was younger. That's interesting. It's such a shame though. I like we have issues with the beetles and stuff out here too, but not quite on that scale. But that's a shame. Trees are cool. We're fans of trees here. Let's see. Java is very bloated compared to Bedrock. Yeah. Java is a less, I think, overall, kind of a less efficient version. But because of the way it's coded, it also has a lot more like just the ability to do mods pretty easily and stuff is something that's harder on Bedrock. You know, the things that make Java a little bit bloated and slow are also what makes it possible to do, Java servers and stuff, right? Because I think, as far as I know, Bedrock is limited to like realms and stuff, right? Or maybe they have Bedrock servers, but they're definitely more difficult, I think. But yeah. Let's see. I say a video about sodium, it didn't work. I'll try reinstalling it. Yeah, it's MCX and Finmir. Yeah, those are the two. They are. MCX is a big proponent of Iris, and I think his buddy Finn knows. He always seems to be in the know about how it works and stuff. So at least that's been my experience. Good laptops, expensive. Most ones here have 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes storage. Doesn't help to use Opera. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, computers are expensive. It's honestly, it's not a bad idea in this day and age to look into getting like a used computer from someone. If that's an option for you, I don't know what the used computer market looks like in Mumbai, but I do know that like buying a new computer here in the States is also very expensive. But because all the new stuff, all the new graphics cards and stuff that come out, you find a decent number of people who are selling their rigs that are not that old, I mean, maybe a year, or 2 years old or something like that, which, it's not going to be a top of the line computer. It's not going to run, 8K games at 60 FPS or anything, but they work, I think that, I don't know. It just seems to be a big thought that just because computers are old that they're bad, but honestly, I think that it takes much longer these days for computers to be so old that they're not really usable, That used to be something that would happen, but it's gotten better, Let's see. What else we got? Oh my god, there's so many messages. Taking up 80% memory, yeah. Loading mods on Bedrock is easier. Most stuff is. Interesting. Java is still better in points because it's got a larger community. Bedrock has a Bedrock dedicated servers, the same as Java has Java dedicated servers. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought Bedrock was only realms and stuff. I do remember I had the choice, when I started working on this whole project, like, should I do it in Java or should I do it in Bedrock? Oh, we've got Jester. Sorry, I don't know if you're still here. My apologies. I did not see your message in the Twitch chat, but hello. It's good to have you. Welcome. It's interesting. What does the role member of the Astroland Planning Committee do in the Discord server? Right now, nothing, because Astroland's kind of closed. That was mostly just so that I could ping people who were part of Astroland without pinging people who were just in the Discord for other reasons. So I guess right now it's kind of a badge of honor, like, hey, I was here when Astroland was a thing, you know, something like that. But currently, doesn't really do much. I can make it do something if people have ideas, but currently, just sort of bragging rights, I guess. Something like that. I feel like Java's better for this. Yeah. I mean, at this point, absolutely. Just because, you know, because it's already on Java. But Java's a good platform. Are plugins a thing with Bedrock? I know that like things like World Edit are, and Voxel Sniper to an extent, are absolutely essential to what we've been doing. You know, I don't think any of this would be possible without. In fact, I know none of this would be possible without. Hey, Jester's in this one now. Awesome. How's it going? Yeah, sorry I didn't see your message. I have not streamed in quite a few months, and I'm still trying to remember all my old habits and everything, and figure out where everything is. Welcome. We're doing some Worldpainter. I don't know if you've ever used Worldpainter before, but it's a whole heck of a lot of fun. It's a free program that you can use to draw maps for Minecraft. So we're working on this map. This is a pretty big one. Very happy with how it's coming out. We can actually zoom out now because I've actually got the. Right now we're making a big, kind of a big lake, I guess you'd call it. Yeah, it's gonna be the big green area in the middle of the lake's gonna be. We're gonna shrink that down and get rid of it. Eventually, though, the idea is that this is gonna be like tall mountains all around the edge, and then it's gonna have floating islands floating over the lake in the middle. Really cool. Have you made a marshland yet? Oh, that's a good question. It depends on how you define. Depends on how you define marshland, right? You've got an area back way over in here in Illias. There's an area which I guess I totally forgot, but you can't actually see it on this map. We've got like some swamps and bogs, which is kind of you can't see them because this is an old one, but there's a swamp kind of over here, and then there's sort of a swamp slash bog thing, shallow water, deep mud, lots of little, sugarcane and cattails and stuff over here, kind of in between these two rivers. So kind of, we don't have like a very large bog area though, or marsh area. There's definitely some places where I think we could put something like that. I think maybe down through here because of the delta. So I think deltas and marshes go hand in hand. Maybe it's both shallow water, shallow brackish water. And I remember there being deltas like in the southern U.S. and there's also, I think, marshes things in the southern U.S. I don't know. Yeah, that was the one thing. They have mangrove forests in Mexico, and I really wanted to see them when we were in town over the Thanksgiving holiday. We didn't get to see them because the estuary wildlife preserve that we were going to go to was closed. It's closed for maintenance. It's not going to open up again until January, so no mangrove swamps for me. But I'd like to see it. I'd like to see mangroves at some point in my life. Yeah, Illias does look really small. I think it's less that Illias looks small, and more just that everything else looks really big. You live in the north? Alright. No bogs or swamps or marshes for you then. Louisiana. Yeah. Yeah, the bayou, right? That's kind of a marsh area. They have mangroves, I guess, in the U.S. too. I forgot about that. I would love to see them in person. The mangrove trees, I've been playing a little bit of 1.19, and it's the mangrove trees that they added are really nice. But I'd love to see them in person. Okay, let's get rid of some more of this water, or more of this land, because I'm interested to kind of see how this ends up looking. I think we need to add a little bit more, kind of some weird stuff. You make me want to make a map. You should. You should. You absolutely should. Everyone should be making Minecraft. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's just a good time, you know? It is very fun. You should make a map. You should stream making a map, and I'll come watch your stream, you know? Be fun. But in Michigan you have marshlands. Interesting. Is it like, so are the marshes like, I would assume, on the shores of the big lakes, Great Lakes? I don't know exactly which Great Lake because I've never been to Michigan. Actually, I've been to Michigan once, but that's interesting. I didn't know you could have I mean, I guess that makes sense. You can have marshes and bogs and stuff in freshwater. Kind of interesting though. I like that. Michigan, eh? I've been to Michigan exactly one time. It was for, so instead of doing sports in high school, or grade school, I guess, rather, because I'm not an athletically gifted sort of person in general, but I participated in an activity, an after-school activity called Odyssey of the Mind. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that. If you have, kudos to you, because it's a relatively obscure thing. But it's basically like kind of like improv, creative theater stuff, kind of. So the idea is that you get a team of kids together, and you're given like a problem, right? Like, you know, write a play that includes dinosaurs and has a mechanical contraption that, you know, and a song component, right? And then you're given several months, and you build it out of recycled materials, cardboard and duct tape and stuff, and you build a set, and then you go to the competitions, and you perform your little play and everything. It's crazy. But anyway, I used to do that as a kid, and we won the California division at one point, and after doing so, we went on to the national. That's right, the national competition, which happened to be in Michigan. I've been to Michigan once. That's my story of the time I visited Michigan. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. No, it was fun. I have fond memories. I don't like that. Some funny little islands here. I think they'll be kind of fun. You've been to the South one time, North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina counts. Little in-sea action. I like it. I'm trying to remember if I've ever been to the South. Honestly, not sure if I ever have. What are some places I've been to that might be considered the South? I think the furthest south in terms of the U.S. that I like Arizona and stuff, right? But Arizona isn't the South. It's it's the desert. It's something different. I have been to Virginia. Virginia is kind of, sort of, right? Don't be racist, I'm a building. What? I'm confused. But yeah, I think Virginia is probably the furthest, the closest thing to the south that I've ever been to. I would like to visit though. I hear it's a lot of cool stuff to see. Particularly, I know that. Well, there's a couple of reasons, but I'd like to visit Florida someday. Virginia is definitely the South. Okay, cool. Then I've been to the South. I've been to Virginia. Yeah, I've been to Virginia. I have I don't know, some relative who lives in Baltimore, which for some reason I cannot for the life of me remember what state Baltimore is in. Could be Virginia, but it's probably not. I think it's Maryland, right? Um, it's just logic. I like it. Yeah, Maryland. I had to go see Washington D.C. It's the capital, right? You gotta go see. When in that part of the East Coast, you gotta go see the capital. You gotta. But yeah, so I've been through Virginia. Honestly, most of my time on the East Coast was spent kind of in the northern parts, though. I've been up to Maine and everything. Spent quite a bit of time in New York and Boston, but not much else. Not much in between. I took a train ride across the country from California to New York City one time, Amtrak. It was super fun, and we got to ride a train through parts of the Midwest and everything, which I thought was really neat. It's the first time I've ever seen places like Kansas and Iowa and stuff. Stopped in Chicago along the way. Got to eat some. We had a 6-hour layover, and I got to eat Chicago-style deep dish pizza. It's great. Lives up to the hype. Highly recommend if you're ever in Chicago, you try it out. A little bit expensive, or at least the place we went to was, but you know. Florida's the only state in which the farther north you go, the more south you get. I like it. It's a good way of putting it. Florida has some cool stuff though. They've got the mangroves and everything. I'd like to see an alligator at some point. They have manatees. Manatees are phenomenal. No one can convince me otherwise. They're the best. You got to see the Capitol. I did not visit on January 6th. No, that wasn't me. No, nope. That was something entirely different. I visited the Capitol many years ago. Back when, I'm trying to think of who was president at the time. I'm pretty sure it was Obama. Although, it could have been Clinton. I don't know. Or Bush. Could have been Bush. This was quite a few years ago. I'm pretty sure it was Obama, though. Iowa's the most forgettable state. Yeah, I don't want to be mean to people who are from Iowa, but I do distinctly remember like when we were on the train and everything driving through these different places, like each state I was like, "Oh, that's a cool thing." I remember things about the states. Iowa was like one of the places where it's like I don't remember anything from the ride through Iowa. It just at least where where the train goes and everything, there wasn't a lot to see. I hear it's peaceful and stuff, I guess, right? My social security number is 4. Probably shouldn't be giving out those on the internet, right? It's like the first rule of the internet. Don't give out your personal information. Even if it is for the meme. You've been to Ohio? I like it. Ohio is cool. Who was it? I think someone I know lives near Ohio, I think. Can't remember who. Really? I could have sworn I saw a sloth there. No, I think you just saw the guy with the raccoon hat. I remember that guy. He was he has his face all painted and everything. And he had like the fuzzy Viking helmet, I think, or something on. Oh no. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Ohio isn't that bad. I don't. I'll be honest. I'm not good at geography. I don't have a great sense of where Ohio is, but I'll take your word for it. Seems like a nice place. My dad has the Time magazine, which has his face on it. Yeah, that's probably one that'll be worth something eventually, right? Because it's such a weird. I don't want to get into it. It's politics. We don't talk about politics. This is a wholesome stream, but weird stuff. Iowa, South Dakota, both forgettable. That's right. I forgot there's a South Dakota. I have a friend who lives in North Dakota. He's an oil man, which he says is really good money, but because he lives in North Dakota, there's nothing to spend it on. Oh man. Your mom's maiden name. Ruben, stop trying to steal people's identities in my stream. Do it on your own time. I was there and I saw nothing. Hey, don't be mean. Some people's maiden names can be Bill. Probably. There's probably at least one person, right? Time after he was elected. eBay sells those for a lot. That's funny. eBay has become a weird place. I feel like, God, it's been a really long time since I've heard of anyone doing anything on eBay. Like, I think I hear about people trying to sell like Pokemon cards on eBay sometimes. And eBay is actually an excellent place if you're looking to buy pre-cut slabs of rock, which that's what my family is into. eBay is a great place to buy those. Should make some cherry blossom trees. I actually really like that. Yeah, I need to find a good place for them. Where do cherries typically grow? So I know you get them in the classic thing is like you get cherries in in the eastern side of the United States and stuff. You also get them. I think that cherry blossoms are like a very classic Japanese thing, I want to say. I wonder what kind of climate you find cherries in specifically. Be something. Find an area like that and then put like a whole forest of cherry blossom trees. That would be so cool. Oh, since I would never do that. Send me cute pics of your credit card. Oh God. It's like those like people on Instagram, who they're like, OMG, I just got my first credit card, and then they post a picture of them holding it with all the numbers visible. And then they post later, it's like a meme. There's a girl who did that, and then later she posted, oh, I got my identity stolen. I don't know how it happened. Oh. Never steal a person's identity. Yeah, don't be an identity thief, guys. Seems like a good idea. It's really not as much fun as they make it out to be, I promise. I mean, what do I know? Maybe it is fun, but I don't think it is. Oh, man. I suppose, actually, I don't know why I'm using this raise and lower tool. I really should just be using this one. Intensity turned on. Yeah. It's be much faster. All we're trying to do is get rid of the rest of this land. Can you also send me this cute credit card photo? I gotta find it. It's internet history, God knows where any of it is. I, Ruben, would never give out my info. That's not true. You've already told us where you live. Now we all know you live in India. I guess India's kind of a big place. Someday I'm gonna go to India and I'm just gonna start asking around. Say, hey, do you know Ruben? Do you know Ruben? Are you Ruben? I'm gonna track you down. And I'm gonna steal your identity. How do you not steal an identity? I keep accidentally doing it. I don't know. Like, you just don't do it. Just stop. Stop doing it, man. The only way. Ruben lives in India. He does. He told me this. He told the whole stream earlier that he lives there. It's true. I keep committing genocide when I trip and fall. Well, that's not good. Genocide is bad, guys, okay? So, yeah, just putting that out there. No arguments. It's bad. Don't do that. Don't do genocide. Don't do bad things in general. This is a wholesome stream. Do nice things. Be kind to each other. You know? My favorite little inspirational quote: be the person your dog thinks you are. Right? I love that. Good luck finding me. Have a good trip. See you next fall. I like it. 1 billion people? I bet I could find you. I'm pretty good at Where's Waldo. I don't know if you guys knew this about me, but pretty darn good. I always find one. Even in the hard pictures where it's like hard to find it. I can always figure out where he is. Great at that game. This is basically the same thing, just with Ruben instead of Waldo. Where's Ruben? Pick you out of a lineup, buddy. There we go. We got our big lake. Got some little islands and stuff. I think I might make some of these islands a little bit bigger. Overall, pretty nice. Pretty happy with how it's looking right now. Oh man, we're almost 3 hours in. This is wild. Are you named Evan by any chance? I heard that guy is an identity stealer. Oh, well, then in that case, no, that's definitely not my name. Because I don't steal people's identities. I'm a good person. A good non-identity stealer. Think there's any legitimate reasons to steal someone's identity? Oops. It's back on. I don't feel like I can think of any good reasons where it's like, oh, well, you know, he stole their identity, but he had a good reason for it, right? I don't feel like there's any good reasons. I don't believe it. Where is Waldo Wonder? The type of guy who writes a plus b squared as a squared plus b squared. Oh no, not that kind of person. Numbers have rights too. Dang. Math moment. Math moment. Look, it's got a little tail. Very nice. Okay, that's a funny little island. Put another one maybe over here. That one's kind of like an avocado. Just don't get me wrong. I like avocados, but that one looks a lot like an avocado. This one doesn't. This one looks more like maybe a pickle. Just add a few little here. Relocate Ruben, not Where's Waldo. I like it. Tadpole Island. This kind of look like it, huh? That's a pretty good size island. I'm thinking we have a few islands, and then we also put in, you know, we have the big floating ones in the middle. I'll call all the Rubens in India, all 2 of them. I bet there's more than 2. You got 1 billion people there. I bet there's at least a few more than that named Ruben, right? You have to think that would be a thing. If not, I'm gonna move to India. I'm gonna have a child. I'm gonna name that child Ruben. That way there are 3. How's that? If your name isn't popular, we're gonna make it popular. All the kids, all the cool kids will be naming their kids Ruben. I don't like that one. That's a silly island. Real talk, it's fair to assume there's less than 10 Evans who are all in India. You think so? I don't know if I believe that. Maybe though. There certainly aren't a lot of Asian Evans. Put that there. Who are Indian? Alright, maybe, yeah. We don't count the expats. That's kind of cool, I like that. I think this one needs like a little barrier island out here. Ooh. Yeah, just little inklings of islands, huh? Nice. Goes up a little bit. I like it. Who are Indians? More like, how are Indians? I don't know why that's so funny. People always ask, who is India? People don't ask, how is India? I love how you make names. Mostly I just smash letters together in some basic rules from every language I'm familiar with. Yeah, that's... You know what? Honestly, I ain't kidding. That's pretty much how real world names are made. Hey, it's Oracle. I just saw you. I really need to pay more attention to that Twitch chat. How's it going, Oracle? What's up, dude? It's been a little while. Doing some Worldpainter. We're doing fine. Thank you very much for asking. Oh, I don't know. I mean, every time I look at things that have names, I'm always like, wow. You know, like I was driving down the street, and there was oh, catch you later, Ruben. See ya. There was a street called Newcastle Street, and it just blew my mind. It occurred to me, I was like, oh, you know what? Newcastle Street is literally just a combination of the words new and castle. You know? Like, there was a mountain when we were in Mexico called, I think, Monteverde, which literally, if you translate it, literally just means green mountain, you know? Like, but of course, you know, Monteverde sounds super cool, right? Sounds very, very exotic and strange to people who don't speak the language, but in reality, the vast majority of rivers are called like river or smooth river or blue river, you know, just in a different language, you know? There's something kind of special about that. I don't know. It's not something we think about very often, you know? Oh, this is a big island. Well, what if we do this one where it has like a kind of a circular shape to it? There's like a little lake in the middle of the lake. That was a thing. It was a viral thing that was making its rounds on the internet at some point. The lake that has an island, and the island on the lake has a lake that has an island. I forget how deep it went, but there's also Mont Blanc, which means White Mountain. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is that, you know, and that's all of history. You know, I mean, like, take the Sahara Desert, right? Do you know what Sahara means in the language? I don't know what language it is, but in whatever language that it's originally from, it means desert. The Sahara Desert is literally just the desert. That's it. That's the whole thing. What should we name the mountain? Mount Felon, Mount Etris? No, Green Mountain, exactly. And then people are like, you know, I don't know, it's just, it's silly, you know? Because at some point, I think what happens is that all names are just words, you know? It's all just words, and everything that we do is just, every name of things is just descriptions of what things are, you know, and eventually it gets translated into languages that not everyone knows, and so it seems very fantastical, and then you find out that, oh, it's Green Mountain. It's an island in a lake on an island in a lake on an island. There you go. Can we put an island in the lake on this island? Here, we'll put... There we go. I can actually turn this off for right now, so make this a little bit taller. And then what we'll do is we'll... Yeah, there we go. I love it. An island on a lake. On an island. On a lake. On an island. Oh. Let's see. Is Worldpainter set on XYZ base? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, so this is the X and Z stuff, and then Y is like vertical. So yeah, this is, you know, this whole map can be, I forget where zero's like somewhere way up here or something. Let's see. Oh, 0, 0. Where's the 0 on the top one? 0, 0 is right here where my cursor is right now. Right below the little star-shaped lake. Which is funny because the area where we're actually building and where we've been hanging out is way down here, which is at like a negative 11,000. So whenever someone new joins the build team, they join the server and end up at 0, 0. And they're like, where am I? It's all just flat and empty here. I'm like, yeah. And I have to teleport them over to where I am. It's a whole thing. I really like that circular lake though. That's nice. This world has a lot of lakes. But I think it's fun. Man. Yeah, that thing is very, very round. But I think that's good, because I think that it looks unnatural, and I think because it looks unnatural, it definitely looks like, oh, there's something going on there, right? Because it doesn't look like something like that should naturally form. And in fact, you know, it's like an unnatural, well, sort of natural, I guess, but like a meteor strike area. This is getting a little bit loud for my taste. Turn it down just a little bit. Do trees spawn naturally? No. So when I export this world, it's gonna export with grass and flowers and things, but not trees. So what we can do, we have a couple of options for dealing with that. We can, what you can do is you can upload schematic files. So basically like little instructions for making trees and whatnot, that Worldpainter can populate them into the forest and stuff. And you can upload as many schematics as you want. Alternatively, a lot of what we've been doing is we use this to draw the mountains and the rivers and things, and then we open it up in game on a server, and we do all the building by hand when it comes to trees. And that's been, it looks really nice when you do it all by hand, but it is so much work. I never want to build another forest again if I don't have to. So I'm working on ways to make sure that we can keep building things mostly in Worldpainter, and then add the stuff that's fun to build, you know, in game. So things like castles and cities, right? Can't do castles and cities in Worldpainter. You know, and big landmarks and stuff like that. But like a forest with 100,000 trees, we don't need to build 100,000 trees by hand. It's just not reasonable, you know. Um, so what we end up doing instead is we populate it with schematics and things like that. And I've got a big old where'd it go? I think it's in my layers, custom layers. I think it's in here. I don't know how to edit. Oh, there it goes. Oh no, this is a plant layer. It's not dagger trees because that's something different. Might not have it on this one. But we do have a whole bunch of custom trees. How can I help? Sorry for asking. Oh yeah, if you're interested in joining the project, we would be we're accepting applications right now. So let me put it in the chat. Gotta find the chat first. That's always challenging. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put an email address in here. I gotta remember it. Pretty sure that's it. Double check that I've spelled that right. I know, I forget my own email address. It's bad. Okay. That is the correct one. Send me an email at that email address, and I'll send you the little application we have set up. We're always looking for new people to join. There are a few requirements. Obviously, you have to own a copy of Java Minecraft because this is a Java server. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to work with to do co-op with Bedrock right now. Additionally, I am asking that people who apply to join the team be at least 18 years of age, because I think that it's better that way just from a legal standpoint, and I think also just that, you know, I don't want people getting into it if, you know, without having, you know, permission from their family members and stuff, you know. And once you're 18, in most places you're legal adult, you can do what you want. But yeah, you can put images. Yeah, absolutely. If you send me an email, just a simple email, then what I'll do is I'll send you back there's like a pre-recorded message I have written up for the application process, and that'll tell you a little bit more about what you need to send. But in general, you know, just pictures of things that you've built, so we can get an idea of, you know, what your style looks like, and then just some information about, you know, what makes you interested in the project, right? You know, toss me an email if you feel like it, and we'll take a look at things. Yeah, always happy to welcome new people into the group. It's a big project. We're gonna need a lot of hands on deck, so, you know. Okay. So that is one that where I'm trying to be in the interest of keeping it fair. I'm gonna be pretty strict about that one. So, but when you reach the age of 18, if you are still interested, please do still reach out. We are, like I said, you know, this is not going to be a project that is over in in a couple of minutes or anything like that, or anything like that. It's gonna be years and years and years. Lots of copper. I like it. Copper is one of my favorite new building blocks. I love that it's got so many different colors. It's just beautiful. I do wish that they, you know, I love the fact that they added copper stairs and slabs and stuff. I wish they would have done the same for, like, honestly, I don't really need iron stairs and slabs, but I would like gold or netherite stairs and slabs. I think that would be kind of a nice touch, but fortunately, we don't always get the things that we want, and that's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do. We are heading towards 3 hours. In fact, we just passed. It looks like we just passed 3 hours. So I'm gonna do a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and try and deepen this. deepen this lake a little bit because it only goes down to 40 right now. But then I think we'll kind of wrap things up. Trying to ease my way back into this slowly. So let's go at or above. Let's go all the way down to like 15 or so. I guess technically this road goes all the way down into the negatives. So we could go even lower than that, but we can go down to 10. And this will give me, yeah, spruce, copper, and deep slate. I like it. You're a fan of the new blocks, I see. Increase the intensity on this a little bit. Yeah, because I don't want to. I want this to be a pretty gradual dip down into the 10 area. Raise this up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Feel free. I mean, even if you're you're not able to join and everything, still love to see the things that people make. I'd love to see your builds. Send them in. Let's see. Deep lake. Yeah, that's the other thing that I haven't done any of this yet, but I would like to eventually do like some underwater builds, you know? That's something that you don't see a lot of. Which is surprising, because I would think that with Minecraft and everything, that especially with like the ocean monuments being a thing, I see people drain the oceans and everything around the monuments, but I feel like I don't see a lot of people like actually build underwater things, cities and castles and stuff. I sound young, which throws people off. I feel that. No worries. No worries at all. We welcome everyone. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is gonna be nice with just getting some depth and altering the bottom of this a little bit so it's not flat on the bottom. So I think the flat bottom lake, I mean, this lake is eventually going to have a flat bottom. But I think that, you know, I mean, it's down, the flat bottom is down at 10, so no one's ever going to see it. I think that if it were shallower and had a flat bottom, it would be less appealing. Nice. I like how this is coming out. Very pleased. And it's good to be streaming again. Good to see everyone again. And for all the new people, it's good to see you as well. This might be this might be a little bit optimistic of me, but I'm hoping to stream more often. We will see how that actually ends up panning out. Unfortunately, my life is a little bit busy these days, but I don't know. I mean, just even just spending a couple hours here, this has been a lot of fun, and I've missed doing this greatly. So, hopefully we'll find more time to do it. Random song recommendation. Hand Me My Shovel, I'm Going In by Will Wood. I like it. I'll have to look it up. That's a great title for a song, though. Oh my goodness. We have kind of a little bit of a deeper trench, maybe, through here. Some relatively shallow water there. a little bit tracing through here. Nice. I'll have to take a look when I probably after the stream, because I don't want to do it on the stream. It seems sort of rude. But yeah, I'll definitely take a look. Always happy to see what people are up to, what people are building. It's very inspiring, I feel like. I feel like I get a lot of inspiration looking at things other people do. And I hope that I do the same for other people, you know? I hope that people see the stuff that I build and say, oh, that's inspiring. I build better, just those are with the newer blocks. Yeah, I feel that. No worries. Will Wood also has the song with 5 names, aka Soapbox Tau, aka Checkmate Atheist, aka Neo Space Government, aka You Could Never Know. Song with 5 names. That's a new one. I like that. Will Wood, huh? We'll look into that. I watched a video earlier today about the origin of the Caramel Dancing song. It was really I don't know if any of you guys were around for that craze, but that was a very viral Euro, what do they call it? Euro pop or something? Remix song back in, God, mid to early 2000s. Hey, how's it going? Making of, is it Vinitao? Or Vinitao? Dovecraft? That's cool. Welcome. Good to have you here. I'd make a build for this, but my mouse died. It's a wireless. Oh, you scared me for a second. I thought you were talking about a real mouse. That would have been very sad. But you're talking about your computer mouse, so that's good. And nice and small and everything. Fitting it in. Buy batteries tomorrow. Absolutely. Now I had a wireless mouse for a while, and it was good. It was convenient, but like you mentioned, like just the having to replace the batteries all the time was so annoying. Eventually, I ended up just going back to using this corded mouse because I don't know. I'm just super lazy, I guess. Too lazy to replace the batteries in my mouse. Which is, I guess, sort of ironic because, you know, the guy is working on a Minecraft project that will likely take 10 plus years, is also too lazy to put batteries in his mouse. That's just the way it be, though. Rip real mouse. I don't want your real mouse to die. That would be sad. Gonna add a little bit of I think we need to bring this in here a little bit. Can we get some deep water right up next to this, huh? I like it. That's cool. I have a PC with my father for a week on my laptop. Okay. Yeah, wireless mouses are good for laptops. I'll say that. That's absolutely true. Man, when I first started playing Minecraft, I didn't own a desktop, and all I had was my laptop, and I started playing this game on with the trackpad on my laptop. And that was, I don't know if you've ever tried playing Minecraft with a trackpad, but it's not fun. Not really. Not really a good time. But sometimes you work with what you got, right? Sometimes that's part of the fun. Yeah, I actually have not been playing Minecraft for very long. Some people here will know this, but I actually didn't start playing this game until the beginning of the pandemic back in 2020. And I really have, yeah, that's pretty much my experience with the game. Is just what I've learned in the last couple of years. So I'm still learning all sorts of new stuff too. I'm playing some survival with a friend, and this is my first experience with actual survival. Other than that, pretty much just play creative exclusively. And so it is such a weird experience, having to collect materials and not dying. I have died so many times. It's not even funny. Still have not beat the dragon yet, but we're getting there. We're gearing up. I think we found the in fortress and everything, and now it's just a matter of gearing up and going in there and beating up a big old dragon. Should be a good time. Okay, how's this lake looking so far? Pretty good. I think definitely over here we need to raise the land a little bit. Everywhere else looks pretty okay. Just want to bring some of this back up. Still underwater, but maybe a little bit less drastically underwater. So I want there to be like a deep area, but then also some shallow spots. Push this back a little bit. Yeah. That looks nice. Fill that in a little bit. At this point, we can go ahead, use our mouse to add in some interesting underwater rock formations, maybe. Something just to texture it up a little bit. Add a little bit of interest. You just don't want anything to poke up too much out of the water. Nice, nice, nice. Let's do things below 40. So we make sure that we don't pop it out of the water too much. That we get some nice shapes. Oh yeah, look at that. That's like a shelf. I like that. A little bits here and there. See, yeah, we're starting to end up with some cool subsurface terrain. That's gonna look so cool underwater, I think. I don't know for a fact, but I have a strong suspicion that it might look awesome. Let's see. This could use a little bit of something. Yep, that's good. This definitely needs a little bit. We're gonna shove this up against the edge. Give it a little bit of a steep drop off. Maybe I can't join right now, but I need a sign saying gestures here. You know what? I'll see what I can do. We'll see if we can find a space where we can add a gestures here sign. just because you asked nicely, you seem like a wholesome person. And I appreciate that. Okay. Bring this up to the edge. Look at this, we're gonna have like a little underwater canyon. That's gonna be so cool. Yeah. Oh, I'm liking all of this. And then we're gonna do 240 and 64. Do a little bit more texturing. We'll use the hill brush for this. The hill brushes are pretty soft. And I think that's good because I don't want to get too crazy in here. Just want a little bit of texture. Actually, there's an outcrops brush that we should use as well. That I think adds like little rocks and stuff, which I think would be kind of a nice touch. We'll add a little bit texture that way. Turn the intensity on this up just a little bit. I just don't want too many spots that are sort of too flat. You know, flatness is, I have discovered, very dangerous. So we have to do our best to keep things from getting too flat so that they stay interesting. Yeah, see, like this, it's too flat. Needs just a little bit. It doesn't take a lot. Just push a little bit out towards the edges, just so that there's something there, you know? I like it. Okay, let's see if we can find the outcroppings brush and then do, I believe it's these ones. Oops. Yeah, perfect. This literally just adds like a few, oh, you know what, I need to turn off, just add some little rocks, you know? I stubbed my toe and turned Russian. Look at all the little rocks. Ah, it's beautiful. Then next time, or at some point, we'll have to come through here and finish these islands because these are very flat. I think it'll be nice. Even put some of these, have them come out of the water a little bit, maybe. Yeah, like that. That could be cool. Just a few. What do we think? It does add texture. I don't want to do too much, but it does add some much needed noise, I guess. Oh yeah, look at this. Over here, this is gonna be kind of a, I don't even know, but it's gonna have little bits that poke up, and that's gonna be so cool. Nice. Very excited. Actually, I suppose this would be very good. I should use this on the coastlines to add little rocky outcropping. Little kind of sea stack sort of stuff. I hadn't really thought about it. That's actually kind of a good idea. Swamp. This could be good for a swamp. Yes, mangroves. I love the mangrove trees. They're so cool. In real life and in Minecraft, but... I mean, primarily, I guess, in Minecraft, but... They are cool in real life, too, I bet. I have not seen any in real life, so I don't really know, but... Okay. Let's try one of these other ones. Oh, that's an interesting one. Not quite what I was looking for. I think I like this one better. But we'll leave it there. Rotate it around a little bit. Goes a little more pronounced. Want some of them to be tall and some of them to not be so tall. Want to get a good mix in there, I guess, you know? Okay, that seems pretty good. This whole lake is looking pretty nice. I think this is going to look really cool right over here. With all the little bits poking up. I'm very optimistic about that. In real life, it gives you tennis. Oh, like tetanus? Yeah, it's true. Yeah. This is going to be really, really neat, guys. I'm really excited about this. We just need to take some Tetris. Oh, tetanus. Yes, tetanus. I think it's in US. Pretty sure. Yeah. We'll put some tall mountains around the edge of this. We'll put some floating islands floating over the lake in the middle. It's gonna be awesome. Anyway, guys, we're nearing the 3.5 hour mark. I intended this to be a short stream, but got a little distracted along the way, as we do. But yeah, it's been great hanging out with you guys. I'm gonna wrap things up, but thank you for tuning in, and hopefully this will be a fairly regular thing going forward. Who knows? But I'll do my best to keep doing it. Yeah, maybe next time we'll do some stuff in the actual Minecraft world. I'll show you guys around. There's a whole lot to see, a lot of new stuff. Very excited to share it all with you guys. But yeah, that's the stream. You guys have a nice night, a nice morning, a nice afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a wholesome day. And I will catch you on the flip side. See you later.